everybody, it's Runescapefar. How are you guys doing today? Now, the reason I have this up, I'll explain that later on, but let's jump right into this. So we're going to review a video I took with this Crosstour, which is supposed to be a cheap GoPro, which it is cheap, and it is horrible. So let's just take a look at the video quality and everything else that goes with it. So it's supposed to record in 120p. Now when I first got my first video with it, I deleted that because it wasn't 180p. Well, that's because it was default set to 720, which was like, okay, why the hell is it set to 720? It should be strictly 180p. And also, the first thing I've also noticed is it lied when it said that the battery life was long. I filmed, this thing says it has a very long battery life, but after an hour of recording, it was already almost dead after 1 hour. So a GoPro battery can last you for a very, very long time. And this thing says it's slightly heated to the touch. That is wrong. When I was recording this, I had to take it out because the lens also fogged. And this is the case it goes into. Now, as you can see right here, and this is also why I have the screen up, so that way I can actually see what I'm doing, there is nothing that I could screw into to actually just use this by itself. I have to use this case with it. Now this case is supposed to be waterproof. However, there's a head-on strap-on attachment you can use. That's this thing right here. Now, notice any problems with it. If I want to use the water feature for this, I gotta use this thing. Because the instruction booklet on how to do it the other way with the main backing here is extremely confusing as hell, and I'll show you that real quick. So the instructions to use everything here is basically this right here. It's just a bunch of pictures that says this plus this plus this plus this does this. Okay, well, that's not really instructions on how to actually put it together. You're just saying these things go together. Well, how do they go together? That's kind of important to know how to put these together, because I was looking at them trying to figure out how they go to each other. Some of them didn't even have a lug nut to screw into, like as you see with this one here, it has a little silver cap on it. Some of them don't even have that, and there were no extra screws whatsoever, so I got to steal from another one, or another combination set to use for another combination. And that right there is just, you're constantly taking from one thing to use for another thing, and it didn't even come with a micro SD card. I actually had to provide my own micro SD card with it, and it was 16 gigabytes. They say recommended use of 32 gigabyte micro SD card. Well, it'd be nice if it actually came with one. Now, it did come with 2 batteries, a cleaning kit, but this right here, like, this is all the combinations they have. That's not even everything that came with the kit. So there are several things in that kit that aren't even described in here. Even the head mount with this case and the combination for the tools for that, it does not include that whatsoever. So that's why I would have to use this. And that is very uncomfortable to wear on the head. I've tried it. It's very uncomfortable. Especially since this thing, like I said, it gets extremely overheated. It's actually starting to heat up right now, just from charging. And I've actually read a review where somebody charged it for 6 hours and the battery actually melted into the camera, destroying the camera. And like I said, this thing was so hot to the touch. When I took it out of the case after recording for 30 minutes, it was burning my hands. It was so hot, it was burning my hands, just holding it in my hand. So that's definitely a bad review there. So let's actually go view some of the qualities of this thing. Let's see. So as you can see right here, it broke it up to 3 clips. So let's see, how long is this one? For say 2.87 gigabytes, 2.87, and 126 megabytes, because this was the ending of it. So why is it, if it's supposed to be continuous, it should be a continuous film stream, but it's 3 separate parts. So I mean, that's 2, let's do the math there. So we have Where were they? About 2.87 megabytes apiece, or gigabytes, so 2.87. So that's about 5.68. Add on the point, what is that? Okay, now you're not going to show me because I have that opened. 126, so point 126. So it's still about 5.8 gigabytes. That's not that bad. So the reason why they compressed it to 3 different video files, I have no idea whatsoever why they would do that. And that just seems dumb, because now that's 3 separate clips I have to upload and try to drag into Premiere to edit, and hopefully they don't get corrupt in the process. So let's go watch the first part. Now I do have the sound enabled here at 100% volume, so you guys should be able to hear it 100% perfectly. Let's see what the sound is, because it's supposed to have good sound and good video quality. So let's go check that out. Okay, I think I have my volume turned down here for a second. Yes, I do. Okay, so sound quality isn't that bad, but just look right there, the color tones are off. Ooh, yeah. I don't like that, because this is what I have to use, because this is the only mount I can actually hold in my hand. You see, I don't like that. I like a nice thin mount I can actually just kind of swivel like that instead of having to go like that. And the video quality, it's still horrible. I mean, no way that's 180p, because I've seen 180p videos on YouTube, and that's not 180p. I mean, I know I'm not recording right now in 180p. Yeah, and using this thing, anytime I touch it, it's gonna make that noise, which I don't like that. And you can't even see that in good quality right there. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that's actually good quality or bad quality? Because to me, that just seems like very shoddy quality. And yeah, I just can't stand that stand noise, because I don't have a separate stand. There's actually a separate attachment that you put into this that you can actually screw in a stand. Well, I don't have a stand, because of course it didn't come with one. You'd think it would come with something for every single attachment, but it doesn't. It just gives you a bunch of pieces. So let me actually go grab like the box and everything. This is basically the box it came in. And first off, they give you zip ties. Now they don't tell you in the instruction book what these do, so I have no idea what those are for. It does come with a little cleaning cloth, which is nice. Here's the second battery. So let's see, we got mounting joints here. We got this. Now the straps actually do come through here. I actually found a video that showed me you put the straps through this part, but I mean still, this should have been in the instructions on how to actually properly use this thing for a head mount. So I looked that up with a video somebody posted on the Amazon review. Now, this thing, I have no idea what the hell it's for. It's not even shown in the instruction booklet. I mean, do I actually just, like, maybe... no? Maybe. Hold on. Let's see. Maybe... okay, maybe like that? Maybe? I have no idea. Ooh. For some reason, this thing also has a PC mode, so I can use it as a PC camera. I can actually use it to replace this camera I'm using right now. So, yeah, let's see, it comes with this. This is the camera mount part that you put on and screw into a camera stand. It came with 2 things of Velcro. one of these, which is for a camera mount as well, I think. Another one of these, and an assortment of these. But it didn't come with any extra one of these. Now these I did actually take out of one of the other combinations to try to figure out how to do some of these things and see what actually goes with what. Because again, this plus this plus this equals this is not instructions on how to assemble anything. But that's basically everything this thing came with. So it really is crappy quality stuff that it came with, and the instructions are also of a poor quality. So let's continue watching. Okay, I guess I can't continue watching because I switched it to PC mode. But still, right there, I mean, look at that. That doesn't look like HD quality to me, but I'll leave that up to you guys. But this is the Crosstour CT700. It was about 30 to 35 bucks. So, I mean, you definitely got the price you paid for. Like, I know I got the price I paid for this camera. It doesn't really do that good, and in order to focus it in, it's very hard to focus in. So I do want to upgrade that. Logitech has a nice one that actually keeps track of your face, so it moves when you move, and it auto focuses on everything, which is beautiful. It's about 125, 130 bucks, I think, so it might be a good investment. And then, of course, a new mic. But I was hoping to do get this, and then do videos like this, maybe do some underwater swimming videos of lakes and stuff, but not with this piece of crap. I mean, like I said, the battery life is so short on it, and the whole entire time I was filming, the lens on the outside fogged up, and the lens on the inside also fogged up. So half the footage is also foggy as hell because both fogged. I had to constantly take it out and clean it. So if it's, and this thing's supposed to be sealed tight, as you can see right there. When you press it, it makes for that waterproof sealing. Now this is waterproof supposedly up to 30 meters deep. So I don't know how well that is actually true, but the lens fogs up like crazy. I wonder if that's also because this thing heats up like crazy, which is concerning. I mean, right now it's slightly warm just from the charging. I mean, if you use fast charge on your Samsung, it gets hot like that, but I mean, this thing was burning my hands just touching it. It was that hot. So I wish I had my thermometer with me so I could check the temperature of it, because it says during normal operation it goes from 10 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. I think that went well above 60 degrees Celsius. Easily went above it. And that's actually very concerning because that can easily fry my micro SD card, that could fry the circuitry in here, that could fry the battery and cause the battery to melt into the chassis, which it is being held into, and cause the camera to no longer work. I mean, that's a major safety feature also right there, for the fact that I actually burnt myself touching it because it was so hot. And I don't think I'll actually film in the tunnels Monday, because I don't want to have this on my head and it fogging up, and also it's going to be very humid and hot down there, so I got a feeling it's going to fog up like every few minutes or so, because that's what it was doing outside. Like every 10 minutes or so you would see it would fog up, and I gotta wipe it off, and it's an inconvenience, really. So, I mean, if you're on a very cool day, like wintertime, fall, this might actually work. It might actually help even better with the battery. But if you're in the summertime, especially when it's 80 degrees outside, the battery's going to overheat. It's going to fog up like crazy on you, and you're not going to get a good quality. Maybe that's why it's such crappy quality right here. Maybe. I have no idea. Let me know what you guys think. Or if you've ever got the Crosstour CT700 and experienced the same problems as me, let me know in the comments below. Because honestly, it's not like it's advertised. I mean, I will gladly pay the 200 bucks for a Hero 5 and definitely use that versus this thing. I'm actually going to refund this and get my 35 bucks back, because it is a piece of crap. But yeah, I mean, the sound quality is actually surprisingly not that bad. I thought it wouldn't be that good, especially being kept in a case like this, but Surprisingly, it was, and that's another reason why I want the GoPro, because the case is actually it's actually built into this. It's not two separate entities, which I like. And the GoPro actually does continuous filming. It doesn't break it up to 28 minutes a piece, which again, that's very annoying for me on the editing part, because I gotta drag those three over, get them off the micro SD card, and then convert those over to the Premiere, and hopefully it works with the Premiere. I haven't tried it in the Premiere yet. I'll see what it looks like in the Premiere once I get done with some editing. I'm just going to edit the first one, or actually I'll take the shortest one, because that's going to be the fastest one to transfer over and everything, and see what I can do with that. And if it will even work with Premiere, because if it doesn't, then it's using a file format that is not Premiere approved. And this is also the app that they tell you to use. See if I can bring it up here. It is called, see if I can find it, iSmart DV. So basically this is what it looks like, and in order to connect your camera, you gotta connect to its own built-in Wi-Fi, so you can't live stream with it or anything like that. And the recording feature is very confusing, because when I push the record button, see if it would actually work, the record button just turns like a light gray color, means it's recording, which I had no idea was actually recording, so I kept on pressing the button. Had like 4 little mini videos on there, like, okay, you know, make a sound that says, oh, you're recording. And I don't know, it only records like a minute on here, so like I was able to record 1 minute completely, and then just automatically turned off and restarted with another minute. So this breaks it up into minutes, which I don't understand that at all. So the app that comes with it's crap. The product itself to me is crap. I mean, you truly do get what you pay for $35 bucks. So honestly, I do not recommend the Crosstour or the Crosstour CT700 or any models from Crosstour, because they're all cheap. And honestly, they all look kind of the same. The newest one has a square camera like the GoPro Hero, but honestly the quality I think is much better on the GoPros, and I will definitely buy one of those versus this piece of crap. And at least the actual instructions for the accessories are actually decent. They're not pictures that say this plus this plus this equals this. Well, what piece go to which piece and which piece goes to which piece? It's confusing as hell, and there's more pieces than what the instruction manual is. So let's actually, again, bring back up those. Okay, so like this one here is for the bike mount. This one here, which is this right here. Now, tell me on what bike model, besides an old person's bike, which has the long looped handlebars, can you actually mount this like this? It would have to mount sideways, meaning you're recording in either direction, but you're not recording face forward. So that's a major default right there for this. I mean, come on. That should have been an easy thing to see. And now also seeing these things here, now I got this as tight as it can be, but look, it still freely moves so easily. Like I wasn't even putting much pressure on there. Like watch, I could do it with my pinky. I'm doing that with my pinky finger. It's not tight whatsoever. And some of these are even worse with it because it's not so tight. So that right there is also a major problem I found with the accessory kits with it. And not just the crappy instructions either. And also, like I said, the crappy instruction is it doesn't have everything needed for it. So like all those additional accessory things, there is nothing for it whatsoever. So let's actually look through here. So this thing records in 180p and 720p, which is 30 frames per second versus 60 frames per second. And also they do have 720p at 30 frames per second, which I don't know why you want to record 720 pixels at 30 frames per second. 170 degrees HD wide angle fisheye lens. It's an H264 video compression, so that's the format. Connects to both Android and iOS. 32GB micro SD card support, max. Class 10 recommended, not included. So there is no memory card included. Charging time 2 hours. So I've charged this thing overnight. So it was at a full 100% when I used it this morning. And the battery's already halfway dead throughout this video. Let's see, continuous recording time up to 90 minutes or continuously if powered through the cable. Okay, here's the cable right here. I'm gonna hit OK. Oh wait, I can't record. Now that's because this is also hooked up to my PC, so let's actually exit this out. We're gonna disconnect it. Just completely disconnect it. Okay, so we're taking it out. And now it turned off. We're going to plug it into the charging port right here. I actually have a side port on my thing. So, there we go. It just turned itself on. Okay, it is actually recording. That's actually interesting. But the problem is, if I'm outside, and since as you can see, there is nothing to hold this with. Let me get this out of the way. So, how does this fit with that in there? It doesn't. It can't. So, the ability to continuously record while charging, I would have to hold it like this, or this. Which this thing gets so overheated it burns your hands. So, again, that right there is a major flaw with it. And I'm not making this crap up. I mean, I'm showing to you right now. Let's see. It uses a USB 2.0. So it says it can record up to 90 minutes, but as you just saw there, it breaks it up to 28 minutes apiece. So it's not recording up to 90 minutes, which is over 2 hours, or 3 hours, because 60, so that's 1 hour. So about an hour and 30 minutes at most. But it breaks it up every 28 minutes. Why wouldn't it break it up in intervals of 30 at least? The battery is a removable 3.7 1050 mAh lithium-ion battery. Waterproof case at depths at 30 meters or 98.4 feet. Language options, weight 64 grams, 2.24 ounces with battery dimensions 59 by 41 by 25 millimeters or 2.33 by 1.61 by 0.97. So those are the specifications for the CT7000, or 7000. And I mean, I already debunked the battery, and also the fact that, like I said, this has no charging port options where I can stick it in, because that would also remove the waterproof function. So I would have to hold it like this, or maybe that's what that little black thing is for. I think it might snap on here, but I can't be 100% sure because there are no instructions on what that thing does. So I could have been using it wrong when I put it on like that. Maybe that's why it wasn't fitting on properly. Who knows? Because there's no freaking instructions for it. So right there, that is just poor quality right there. From the crappy instructions to the lying of the video length and the battery heating up. So let's see, I actually do have a thermal recorder for temperature. I'm going to grab that and see what it is right now charging. I have right here a thermal gun. My dad actually got me this for my chemistry class because the thermometer was a glass thermometer and it was horrible for doing the experiments with. So let's turn this baby on. So right now we're in Fahrenheit. Now this thing said it could record. It would normal operating temperature would get up to let's see. Oh, it connected to a TV monitor. You can either use the USB port or it has a, what does this say? micro or HD out. But this is like a very small HD cord thing. And see, that's the slot available. That's for HD cord, which is kind of small. I don't know where. I guess I'll find one on Amazon. Let's see. So I know on the actual Amazon review, I think it's set up to 60 to 90 degrees Celsius during normal operating use, which is, of course, of continuous usage. Yeah, there's not actually much on here, and it doesn't even say that in the actual instructions. Connecting to a computer, USB mode, PC camera. Let's see, uses as webcam for chats and video recording on your computer. You may need to allow Adobe Flash Player to run in your video chat software before it will display. Yeah, it says download the iSmart DV app, which is a piece of crap app. So let's actually get this baby on. So it actually uses a little laser light. See if I can try to shine it on there. If you have a cat, don't let it watch that. It might try to destroy your computer. Okay, so we are now in Fahrenheit. Let's get that to Celsius. Okay, so right now we're going to scan it. It is about, let's get rid of the laser and do straight surface contact for the most accurate. So about, it's already 29.9 degrees Celsius, which when converted to Fahrenheit is about 85.6. So that's actually pretty interesting. So it's actually cool right now, I guess, because I took it out of the PC computer and hooked it up to this charging thing. So maybe if I let it charge up again a little bit, let it build up a little bit more momentum, maybe it will actually heat up some more. Because I mean, this thing was just hot as hell outside recording it. So actually what I'm going to do is turn it on, and for the duration of this video, I'm going to let it record for the same amount of length that I was recording. So let's start recording. See if it starts actually heating up any. So use the surface thing here. Okay, so right now it's at still at 85.9. Now I went up to 86. Let's go convert that to Celsius. Because now with this thing, it said the max it's supposed to get is 60. So it's slowly going up. It's 30.1 now. It was 29 before. Okay, now it's 30.1. And that's the average right now. So let's let this thing just continue recording. I wish I would have brought this thing with me outside, so that way I could actually have used it to determine the temperature with it there. Because if it went well over the safe 60 degrees Celsius, then that right there is a major safety hazard, again, because of the battery exploding, or the it melting to the chassis, burning your hands. I mean, it was hot as hell. I could barely hold it in my hands. So that's why every time I wiped the camera lens off, I did it very sloppy, very fast, because it was burning my hands. So what we're actually going to do also, we're going to take it out, and we are going to place it back in the chassis, because that's what this thing records in. So we're going to record again. Just let it sit there, because if it's in the chassis itself, that could actually be the reason why it's also overheating, because it's not getting any ventilation, because this is airtight sealed, so it's not getting any ventilation of air to it whatsoever. Now with this, it could actually get ventilation because of this, because of the holes, but at the same time it loses its waterproof ability, which is, I'm still wondering why it puts a seal on it if it's lost the waterproof ability. So let's check it now. So the case itself is 78.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Celsius, that's 25.6 degrees Celsius. I don't think I will be able to get it heated up in here, maybe with the outside conditions, but again, if it's solely because if it's outside and it's getting that hot just because it's outside, and you're using this all day outside, it's dangerous. It could be very dangerous, very fast, very easily. But I think I'll actually just end the video here because I don't think it will get that hot again unless I'm outside filming with it. So please subscribe, leave comments, and as always, have a nice day. Let me know in the comments below if you think that video clip was the true 180p, because I have my doubts that it is. And as always, live, love, and game on.